Today we're going to be showing a conversation with a couple of full-time RVers we met in the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta called RV Love.
We absolutely loved meeting Mark and Julie. They were so sweet. They've been on the road a little over a couple years now, so they've got some time under their belt, and it was great just getting to meet them and have a conversation with them. And we actually met each other through Instagram too, which is really cool.
A few of the things we talk about with RV Love are how Mark transitioned from working at home to working on the road. We also talk about why it's not as risky to go full-time RVing as you might think it would be. And some great points on why now is the time. If you're thinking about full-time RVing, you know, if you can do it now, now's the time to do it. So really good stuff. Let's check out our talk with RV Love.
Hi.
Come on in.
Oh, you know a vlogger. He's got a camera.
That's right.
Say hi there. This is Hensley.
Hello, Hensley.
So you guys want to start like just kind of what influenced you to do this? So.
First time I was ever in an RV, a Class A RV, was when I was at my old job, and we were driving around as part of a prize patrol. And instead of flying around, we took a coach around to surprise everybody, and that was so cool. I'm like, this is the way to travel. And then a few years later, when Julie and I were together, we were doing some planning and vision boarding for what we want in the future, and we wanted all this travel and experiences. And then that's when we decided, well, let's do some RV travel, because we had met some folks a couple years prior that were loving this full-time RV thing. They sold their houses in Florida when they had the economic crash, and were loving the life. And so when we started putting together some goals, we thought that's the way to do it. So we started putting plans together to be able to have remote work and putting our life in order. And then we made that decision in October that's what the lifestyle we wanted, and we did a serious research the next 6 months and bought the coach, and we're on the road the next May.
So you, with your work, were you still with the same company and you just transitioned that into remote work, or you were already kind of remote anyways?
Well, when we started getting serious about it, I was already working for a company that allowed me to work from home.
Okay.
So Julie and I were both working from home at the time, and so that made it a little bit easier transition. It also gave us that comfort that we're used to being around each other, working from home, living together full time in our homes. So
it does. Yeah, you hate to make all those transitions at once and realize you hate each other.
Right, that you don't work so well in a small space. But no, so we had that additional comfort zone that not everybody would have, but that made for an easier transition. And you know, with the company I worked for, people working from home, and if you don't ever have to go to the office, they really don't know. I mean, in fact, I didn't tell anybody at work much. Well, I told like 2 or 3 people. But I only told those 2 or 3 people for the first 6 months, because I wanted to be able to prove that it's seamless, that nobody noticed. And so when someone said, "Oh, you're not at home," like, "No, I've been doing this for 6 months. What are you doing?" So I think that's a good strategy, because if you don't draw attention to it, they don't know to be looking for anything. You know, a lot of the folks that we meet on the road are self-employed or contractors or consultants or otherwise self-employed with a lot more freedom. I'm more of an exception to that, where I have a regular 8 to 5 job where I'm supposed to be at my desk all day on conference calls, supporting folks, and so it's so connectivity is a big factor for us.
I think for us, how we got started, because I'm always curious to find out how people even find out about this lifestyle. Because if we would have known this lifestyle existed, I think we would have done it a long time ago, but like we had no idea. It took us about a year to transition and prepare, and how long did it take you guys?
About 8 or 9 months.
Yeah. It takes some time, and we've met some people that it takes them 10 years to plan. And they just try and, but sometimes you just got to say, go. You know, you just got to jump in and know that you're going to learn some along the way. You can't expect to learn everything before you start. That's one of the things that we really found too, is that it's not a permanent thing. You can go back if you don't like it. Right? I mean, if you're like us, you get into it and you're like, I really like this, so we're not going back. In fact, I'd be very challenged by the idea of going back to a stick and brick and a regular lifestyle and going to drive to work every day. You know, it's but your life's short. You just don't know.
No guarantees.
No guarantees.
And to what Marissa was saying, that is one of the biggest comments we had from other people when we shared what we were planning on doing with this lifestyle. Is most people were pretty excited and supportive, but the most common things we heard were, "Well, you're really brave.
Yes.
That's really courageous." and it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
And you're living my dream.
Yeah.
They were the most common things. But we hear the brave thing a lot, and I don't think we really thought about it like that until we started hearing it so much. I thought, yeah, I guess it really is a brave thing. But when you're in it, you're doing it, and you're taking the steps, then, you know. And for me, I mean, I'd moved here from Australia not knowing anybody, like 2 suitcases and a wing and a prayer, so it didn't feel as brave to me.
So you guys got into this for flexibility and travel. I mean, what was your reasoning, I guess?
What drove us to doing the RV lifestyle is that we started thinking about all these places we want to travel to,
Yeah.
but a lot of overseas travel and back to Australia and stuff. But at the time we had our dog, and this is a great lifestyle to be able to have your children or have your pets with you and be able to travel full time and do see a lot. But also to the point with, you know, the regrets is life there's no guarantees, and we've met too many people who put off their dreams until they retire, and then they don't have the health or wealth or whatever it is. We wanted to go do this while we're young, and so when we go to the Grand Canyon, we go hike the Grand Canyon. We don't just look at it through the window. And we go to the waterfalls, and we hike to the top, not just the bottom. You have that health and wellness that people who put it off too long don't. And even if you know, sorry to be too grim, but a lot of folks don't even make it there. You know, we had the few months right before we left, we lost 2 friends who were both way too young to be done. So it's, you know, there's no guarantees. Live your life, get out and do it. If you have any interest in it at all, make it happen. Don't put it off.
We've talked about those exact same things. Yeah. They were the same motivators we had. You know, I had lost my dad early, and I had seen life was short, and we just wanted more time as a family. I mean, it's really bonded our marriage. I'm sure you guys have seen that too, because we've gotten that question like, how is it for a marriage? I'm like, we're a team all day, every day. You know, we're a family. And
when we had the stick and brick and the regular home, and so many of your expenses are fixed, and it gets really expensive. Whereas this lifestyle, you can be really expensive with it, but you can be very frugal with it. You have far more variability with your financial. And we love that. You know, if we get a tighter month, well, we just don't move as far, and we stay in places that are less expensive to stay. If we're feeling really flush, we're spending a couple weeks in Key West. You know, you have that choice.
And it's just like however much money you have, you'll just find a way to spend it. So if you've only got X amount, well, you'll find a way to make the lifestyle fit into your budget. I mean, you just make those choices. You're not going. I mean, we don't have kids, and we're able to go out for dinner. You know, quite often. Now, if we didn't go for dinner as often as we do, we would be able to save a lot more money, but that's something that we enjoy doing. But, you know, we don't have to.
No, we don't. But we enjoy
These are the kind of things that are personal choices. But even the age of the coach, you know, the type of the RV that you get, you know, how far you travel, how fast you travel, they all make a difference.
They do. And some folks, you know, they look at it as, oh, this is such an expensive lifestyle. You drive that big gas guzzling thing all around the world, and you spend all that.
The country.
You could ferry it.
I was thinking about that.
But,
yes, that's true.
But we actually spend less in fuel than a lot of our friends and family do, just driving to and from work. They drive the same 5 miles every day. We drive our coach every couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
You know.
Well, I think the size of the RV too, we're talking about adjusting to the lifestyle. I think you'd be surprised once you get a smaller space. We just kind of fill the space we have. If we have a house with 3 or 4 rooms and a couple extra bedrooms, we're going to fill it with junk. But once you go down to an RV, you'd be surprised what you can adjust to and become comfortable with.
When we hit the road, you know, you worry that you're going to need these things and to put things in storage or sell things. We sold a lot of things. There's nothing, I think, at home that we were like, wow, I missed that. I wish we had that.
No, when we've gone back to
a
home base, we've offloaded, not unloaded.
So that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. So appreciate you guys meeting with us, and I think we've seen the theme a lot of just get as close as you can to going for it. Just make that one tiny little leap at the end. Don't be afraid. Don't have regrets.
Well, it will be scary, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
and ask you that question too. What's the worst that could happen? Hopefully, worst case is you can go back to where you were before.
Yeah.
And that's how I think both of us have a lot of that in common.
Or it may even lead to something better. I mean, sometimes it opens up other opportunities that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard anybody say, I wish I wouldn't have spent so much time with my family. you know, and
don't hear
Wish
that.
I'd worked more. Wish I'd had more stuff.
And that's what we
Exactly.
said. We're like, we just want to be together as a family and make memories and experiences. And
That's our message with Less Junk, More Journey. That's what we've kind
Yeah.
of talked about today. And really appreciate Mark and Julie sitting down with us. If you want to check them out, RV Love, I'm going to put a link in the description below. We actually also have another discussion with them in their RV that you can check out when you get a chance.